Welcome back to Brunch Beauty Life Podcast. I'm Connie.
I'm Ashley. Welcome back. We're so happy that you're still rocking with us.
Yes, rocking and rolling, and boy, do we have something for you today.
Yes.
But first, we want to recap because we said we was going to recap our hot girl summer. How's that's been going for us?
Yes.
And let's start with you, Ro. How's it been going for you?
Well, since we started the Hot Girl Summer Series, which that's what I'm going to call it because that's what we're on right now, we've been outside. So we've been to Merchant and Trade.
Which was very nice.
Yes, it was really nice.
The only thing they were missing was a hookah because, I do like the hookahs. So they were missing the hookahs. But outside of that, the atmosphere was lovely. The food was very tasteful. We have some footage of that, too.
Yes, and we had some good drinks. We met some people. They sponsored our drinks, so that was great. And then we also been to Taboo.
Okay.
And it's a hookah lounge where they have really great drinks. It was some drink that I thought was going to be really cute and pretty, but it was a huge
punch
drink.
bowl.
It was like a punch bowl, and I had to beg Connie to help me take that down. But otherwise, the atmosphere is really nice. People in there are really nice. It was a great time and a great experience.
And there's a little restaurant, I cannot think of the name. The one where you got the mac and cheese bites.
I can't think of the name, but Taboo does not have food.
Right.
So if you are going there, if you decide you want to have a little bite, go down. It's like right down the walkway. It's not too far. And they have these awesome
Gouda mac and cheese bites.
Yes, they were really good, off the chain. Then we also went to a spot. It's called 1085, TEN85. And it's black owned. It's a sports bar. And we went there for a Thursday evening, and it was R&B night.
And they had a live DJ.
They had a live DJ. Also, the bartender gave us complimentary shots, because we them girls. And actually, this past Saturday, we went to a day party. It was the King's Day Party.
At Oak Room.
At the Oak Room, yes.
Yeah, it was at Oak Room.
We had a time. It was.
Did we?
So much fun.
We had an interesting time.
Yes. It was a very interesting time, and I felt so bad because my almost 40 showed its tail, and I had to leave Connie on destination number 2.
Actually, it was destination number 3. Because if you
yes.
want to get technical, after we left there, we went to Midnight Diner.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, in Charlotte, they took away Midnight Diner. They relocated it. But I didn't know they relocated it.
I didn't know it either.
Yeah, like I went past and it was just gone. It was empty. And someone was like, no. They just literally took it and pieced it back together and moved it over there. So we found it and we went, and boy, them grits.
Okay, the grits is great. What did I have? I don't even remember.
You had the waffle.
I had a waffle. It was really good after those vodka tonics I had at the day party. It really made for a great, fulfilling experience. And that was probably the mistake because I got full-ish. And I was like, okay, it's time to go.
Right.
Connie was like, let's still go out.
Let's go to Press Box.
You got one more place to go. I rode up there with my Crocs on, so just a FYI to those, if you're going to the Press Box,
you
no
cannot
Crocs.
wear Crocs.
Yeah, no. I had on wedges. I was really cute, but it was time to take those off. My feet were hurting, and we went to the Press Box. I had on my Crocs, and man had the nerve and the unmitigated gall to tell me I could not come in there with my Crocs.
That's that almost 40.
Yes. That's the almost 40. Absolutely. I'm not trying to, no, at a certain point, the feet are done, okay? I won't go into too much detail, but just know that me and Francis don't do but so much together. Francis is, never mind, I ain't going to tell you who Francis is.
We're not going to worry about who Francis
have
is.
y'all looking at me funny in the streets, no.
Uh-huh.
But Francis said no.
Did Francis come with you today?
Yeah, Francis with me all the time. And she says no. And when she says no, we must go. And I'm like, I had stopped also to McDonald's in between there. So that was also a mistake because I had my little fish fillet combo. I had some fries in the car, some chocolate chip cookies. I was having a great time, and it was saying go to bed, and I'm so sad. I'm sorry I left you.
It's okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
had a good time though.
Yeah.
But can I just compliment the wardrobe here, right?
Thank
If
you.
y'all have noticed, for the first couple of episodes, she's had on the sneakers. Now she got the heels on, and today I got on the little sneaker kick. So now it's my turn. I was dancing with my daughters, and I guess my age is creeping in because I was hitting the
Your
heel
tender
toe.
age.
You know, I was hitting the heel toe in the little SpongeBob Baltimore Club music dance, and I was okay. I was fine. I did it.
I know you had
You
it.
know, I was getting it. I
Got
was getting it. But last night, my legs started hurting.
Yeah.
And this morning, I had to contemplate my whole life. I couldn't even get up and go to the gym this morning. I missed leg day. You know it's serious when I miss leg day. And you could kind of see, like, my legs still. My Achilles, I guess. It just feels a little tender. I can't flex my foot, so.
Well, at least you have an injury. I chose not to go to the gym on my own. No injury included. I stayed in the bed.
It's okay.
We were supposed to go to a rooftop party on Sunday.
And see, what had happened was
We felt the heat.
it was too hot.
Okay, it's
It
hotter
was
than
too
all
hot.
get out outside, and it just did not feel like something to be in. Oh, but also another trick too, ladies, when you are out, I have discovered
Our
the
fan?
handheld fan. So go
I
down
wish
to
I had
Dollar
it.
Tree, okay? Get you a little $1.25 handheld fan and some backup batteries as well.
$1.25.
Yes. And those came in such a clutch when we were out at the day party and all of our
And it
other
was
moves.
literally in our clutch. They
Yes,
fit.
it was in our clutches and it came in the clutch. So it made our experience better and had me out there just a little bit longer than I normally would. But yeah, that's our catch up. That's our recap. You know, anything else? I mean, you know, we've been outside, so
Yeah, we have been outside. See, this what happens when you get kid free. Hey, hey, you get kid free, and we be out here like we ain't going home tonight. But
that
that's
exactly was your mood that we wasn't going home tonight. And I'm like, girl, I got to go home. I'm tired, okay?
it's okay.
I'm almost 40. I'm pushing that door.
We not claiming old. You only old if
I
you
didn't
at
necessarily
old.
say old, but
You only old if you at old. And right now
Yeah.
you said we was gonna be acting bad.
yeah, we acting bad, but we acting bad by a certain time because my body says too bad.
She said
Go
curfew.
home. It's
Said
not me, it's my
curfew.
body.
Okay.
And I really was like, when I got to my place, I actually fell asleep in the car for a little bit before I went inside. Yeah.
So moving on. Moving on. Today's topic is going to be about intuition. We're going to talk about intuition for business as well as intuition for your personal life. So let's kick it with the business. How do you follow your intuition when it comes to business? What is intuition anyway?
Well, I feel intuition is that feeling that you have inside. It's an indescribable feeling. I say that my intuition is definitely controlled by God, but I feel it inside. It's a shaking inside. I have a nervous energy, and I just kind of lean on that feeling. And actually, it was the same intuition that, you know, led me to go ahead and go into natural hair school, which, you know, God's order is completely amazing because when I started that class, we actually had to push our dates back. And they said we had to find a new instructor.
I do remember
And
that.
I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. I've been waiting already. It actually ended up, my first day of class was my aunt's birthday. And it was actually her last birthday Earthside. She had pancreatic cancer. She was in treatment and everything. And she's also a leap year birthday. So it was a leap year and it was an actual birthday. And when I walked into that class, I saw the biggest twist out, healthy, color, vibrant twist out I've ever seen. And of course, it was Latika Mercer. So that's the intuition and obedience that led me to that moment that just jump started my whole life and my career and bringing me to you guys. And so it was that same feeling that I felt when, you know, you came to me and was like, hey, time for you to quit that job.
That's right.
And I just felt it. And I just went ahead with it. And who knew that would just continue to just push me forward. So that's what it means to me. So what does intuition look like to you?
Um, so I think with intuition, yes, it can be like that sinking feeling in your stomach. It could bring on like those feelings of nervousness or fear.
Yeah, definitely
But
fear.
sometimes it could be very subtle. I've gotten so aware with myself that it could be something as subtle as a flinch in my eyebrow.
Because typically when I feel like a flinch, it's like a tick in my eye, and that means I have not gotten rest. But it's a flinch for you.
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's like a subtle flinch. Like I don't know how to explain it, but almost like my eyebrows might hit the like a little scrunch, right? You know, and it could be something to what I'm hearing. You know, someone could be proposing something to me or whatnot in business, and I don't know, my face might just kind of scrunch up, and I have to take note of that because usually that's a little intuitive. It's intuition, and most of the time when that has happened, I go with that
Okay.
because that's
So,
usually a no. Like I call BS.
so
You
for
know.
that, it's a no. That's your BS ticker.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
like
it
a
is.
BS ticker when that happens. So I have to really like pay attention to that. Sometimes it could just be that positive feeling or that sense of urgency. So it kind of like shows up in different forms, different waves. Sometimes I've even heard like, sounds. I ain't crazy, but I heard some voices before.
A little
You,
ping.
you know, a little ping. Actually, I've heard direct words,
That's awesome.
yeah, come through and I listened to that. I remember the first time that happened. I was like, "Am I tripping?
Looking like
What?
Smokey on Friday.
Did I hear something?"
Yeah, you heard that intuition call and said, "Wake up, let's go,
Oh
girl."
my God, is that you?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But yeah.
But sometimes it shows up like that. So when it comes to business, I remember when I first moved to Charlotte. Um, I moved here 2 weeks before my lease was up. But it took 2 weeks before my lease was up for me to get this feeling that I wasn't supposed to stay in Richmond. Like I had been looking for apartments. Things had been happening between me and my roommate. Nothing negative. That's my best friend. That's my homegirl. Shout out Whitlock, Mrs. Lumberger. Congratulations on your baby.
Congratulations.
But with her, I'm gonna say August came. And we started separating the bills, like our cell phone bills. It was together under one account. So we started having this
That's a great
separation.
friendship that you could have that together as friends.
Listen, we work together, we live together,
That's
bills in each other's name, fuss each other out, and go back to work the next day and still work together. Like, telephone.
got it.
We still got beef,
For
but
later.
right. But we're gonna handle this later. That's grown folks. That's maturity, by the way. But we started separating things, started separating bills, and I was looking for apartments, and it was just like, no, that's not it. No, this isn't it. And I had to kind of get quiet with myself and like, what is it? Because it wasn't that I couldn't afford the apartments. And I was looking at some of the nicest apartments that Petersburg and Richmond had to offer.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel right. I didn't feel like this is where I was supposed to be. And that 2 week mark hit, and I was like, I don't want to live in Charlotte no more. First thought was, oh, I'm going to go to Atlanta. Atlanta and the 7 cities surrounding Atlanta had flooded out because it had been a real bad flood at the time.
Wow.
So I don't do bad weather. So for me, intuitively, that was a sign like, okay, not Atlanta. And then my boss lady friend, he came into the salon and he was like, oh, why don't you go to Charlotte? That's the next mini Atlanta. And now this is a situation where my face scrunched up. I was like, Charlotte. But it scrunched up because I'm from North Carolina. I'm from the East Coast. Cotton fields, trees, deers, Piggly Wiggly.
And you just couldn't see.
I
the
just couldn't
next
see
mini.
it. So, that was my like, that's BS. Ain't no way. this place in North Carolina is going to be the next mini Atlanta, like North Carolina's country.
What I thought you was going to say is that he came into the salon and he was like, "You are a queen. You should be in the queen city."
No, that's not what he said. No.
Like coming to America, queens and queen
No,
city.
he just he just said Charlotte was going to be the next mini Atlanta. So that weekend, first time ever, all my clients canceled for Friday and for Saturday. That don't never happen. All of them canceled. So Friday I went to Raleigh. I didn't like it. Saturday I went to Greensboro. I didn't like it. Sunday I came to Charlotte. And then there was this like aura in the air. And it just felt positive. And like intuitively, my intuition, it felt peaceful. Like, okay, I could see myself being here.
Yeah,
and that's how I got here.
How I felt when I was at, I felt a calm, a peace.
Calm and a peace.
And
it happened fast. I found an apartment. I applied. I got approved the same day, signed my lease, and 2 weeks later I was here. It just kind of moved like that. Another time intuition has showed up for me in business was when me and Latika became business partners. Shout out TT.
Tick.
Everybody, people... It was just interesting, I'm going to just say the least of that. Okay. We knew of each other. We had worked together briefly for a very short period of time when I moved to Charlotte, no more than 3 months. So I didn't really get to know her. She didn't really get to know me. We just knew of each other.
And I will also say, guys, I don't mean that you just jump and do business with people you don't know.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little disclaimer. No, but if you get that little flinch.
This is the exception. The exception in the rule.
Yes.
We're going to go into that book later. She was telling me about that.
Yes, the exception versus the rule.
Yes, but we knew of each other. We referred people to each other. And sometimes you just got to wait for things to come into alignment. We were both in a position of growth. We were looking for expanding both of our businesses. We were looking in the same area, and one way or another, she found out that I was looking. I called her to refer a client to her. She was like, "Hey, girl, I want to talk to you." In my mind, I'm like, what she want to talk to me about? Because we were cool, but we weren't cool like that.
Was it the flinch?
Yeah, it was just kind of like, what she want to talk to me about? We got on the phone. She was like, "I heard you've been looking, and I wanted to know if you could share some insight." And initially, I was like, let me get it first, and then I'll share. I mean, it's a real mentality. It's not the right mentality to have, but it's a real thing. And I said, "Can we do brunch?" So we met up at Mimi's Cafe. It's not there anymore. They turned it into a seafood restaurant.
I did like Mimi's Cafe, though.
It was nice,
hidden.
right?
It was hidden.
Yep. We went to Mimi's. We sat down, talked a little bit, and I said, "Listen, we're both on the same path. Let's see if this could be a possibility for us to come together, collaborate together, because we all know there's strength in numbers.
Absolutely.
2 is always better than 1. And it didn't make sense for her to be on that block and I'm on this block, and we just competing against the blocks. You know what I'm saying? The block is hot. The block is hot.
My block hot, my block fire. You know,
right.
Like
My block better than yours.
Yes.
When we come together and just own the whole blocks.
And as someone who is starting by themselves, yes, it is great to have another head in that journey to bounce things off of, because a lot of times it's just me.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm doing it right. I hope it works.
But you know you're doing it right because you're following that intuition.
I'm following the intuition, but I'm also following the guide. So a lot of times I just kind of lean in on the guide, and I put on my little mini "What Would Tika and Connie Do" hats instead of "What Would Jesus Do," which I do follow Jesus too. But I'm also like, what would Tika and Connie do? Because a lot of times that's when I want to rage out and act crazy, and I put that hat on. That y'all gave me to reel it on back in. So that's great with intuition. You know, it works really good when it comes to business, but you also have to trust yourself. I think that intuition without trusting yourself is leading to disaster.
And going back to the intuition, you have to kind of be able to cipher through, because it's like, okay, you get this intuition, and then how do you follow it? Right?
Yeah.
Because you really don't know if it's telling you yes or it's telling you no. You really don't know. So there's a couple of things you got to do or could potentially do to tap into what is my intuition telling me. And one of those things is to just kind of get quiet with yourself to figure out, okay, how do I feel right now? Do I have anxiety? Am I nervous? like feeling those feelings. Then once you cipher through what feeling you're feeling, so let's say it's anxiety or nervousness. Okay, well, why do I feel anxiety? Why do I feel nervous? Is it fear? Right?
Yeah, for
Because
me, it's
fear,
fear.
sometimes that fear will bring up a whole lot of emotions at once, and fear will keep us stuck. So then it's a
Absolutely.
matter of how do we get past, okay, it's a fear. So it's not necessarily a no. If you're feeling fear, more than likely, if you're feeling fear, that's probably a sign for a yes, because
Yes.
it's scary. And it's venturing into the unknown. And when you haven't been to an unknown place, it's scary. But what's on the other side of fear?
Excellence.
Okay.
I know when I was transitioning and I decided, and I actually wasn't sitting and pondering for days and thinking like, am I going to do this or am I going to not? It was kind of similar in the feeling that I felt when it was time for me to transition to being full time at the salon. I had the question in myself, if not now, then when? And will that opportunity still be available to me? And if I didn't take it, how would I feel if I never got to take it?
That's very
And
valid.
after that, that's when I answered those questions. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to go ahead and do it. And once I said it, the words out my mouth of, I want to go into a suite and see how it works, I felt like a good little sense of relief. But then it went to, it wasn't fear anymore. It was excitement. Like,
Right.
what is my vision? What do I want it to look like? Am I going to be able to? And also was the support of you guys just really being like, you got this. But those are the questions I ask myself when I'm trying to lean on my intuition. And one of my sorority sisters was really good. I tapped into her. Like, I was just like, I don't know if I should do it. Like, when I was trying to transition to the salon, I was
Right.
like, I don't have any clients. I ain't got nobody. And she was like, did you ever think that if you were there that you would have clients? And I said, I didn't think about it that way. So it's about talking to people who can also kind of change your narrative or your perspective in your mind. Because in my mind, my family was like, you're going to leave this good old 401k salary job,
This
all these different
guaranteed
things.
income.
You've always been doing this. You ain't never did no hair. We ain't never seen you do no hair. That's how
Can
they
you
came
even do
at
hair?
me. Yes,
I mean, do
exactly.
you really know what you're doing?
Exactly. And I was like, well, do I? Am I really? Like, how many clients you got? I'm like, I don't know. She was like, well, Ashley, did you think that if you were there, you would have the clients? I was like, I didn't put that perspective into that question. So finding like-minded people to kind of help you change your perspective and change the narrative that you're telling yourself to follow your intuition.
Right. I like that. Change the narrative that you're telling yourself. That
Yeah.
kind of goes into one of the things we tell ourselves lies all the time, like, oh, I can't do this.
Absolutely. All the time.
No, that's not my calling. That's not meant for me, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not like her, or like we tell ourselves a lot of lies, and we'll talk ourselves out of following our own intuition.
Exactly.
So it's really good to surround yourself with supportive people and people that can offer you a different perspective, because sometimes that's all it takes. It's to
Yeah.
offer the different perspective. And even when it comes through with going through fear, in my coaching business, I've taken a lot of people through a personal session of getting past their fear.
Yeah. Would you feel that fear is like the number one thing that's holding us back?
Most of the time, yes. Usually it's fear or the people we surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will put their limitations on you. Well, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
I mean, you got to think about this, that, and the third, because that's what they're thinking about. So they're putting a lot of their limitations and their beliefs on you. And if you don't have anybody that's supportive in your corner, or if you're just not strong-willed in your mind, your mental, then for a while you may follow that until you get to the point where that's no longer working for you anymore and you want something different.
Yeah, and then you just kind of give up on a dream that could have actually been a reality.
That still can be a reality for those that felt like, oh, it's not my calling. If that's your dream, that's your passion, it's really never too late for you to pursue it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a no to the unfulfilled intuition. So you can always go back. But make sure you're journaling too. so that you can go back and be like, this was a vision I had. This is what my intuition told me. So how do I now make it work with what I have right now? So definitely journal as well.
And then sometimes, again, it's about the alignment of things. Was it, I don't know what movie it was, but I know it was something that came on Netflix. And I'm going to just talk about it. I can't think of the name, who it was, or what he created. But he tried the idea many years ago, and it just didn't work. But then after COVID and things took place, things shifted. And his idea that wouldn't work many years ago actually became a reality and a hit on Netflix.
Well,
I can't think of the name to save my life.
I
but
can't think of it either, but
but it's a true story.
So we talked about intuition in the business.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to this intuition in this dating world. Okay?
Ooh-wee.
So it's story time.
Okay.
So, I'm single. I'm out here. I'm not looking for a man. I'm not looking for a marriage. I'm looking and being open to my partner that I'm supposed to have in my life.
Okay.
My partner. So in that, I was told, Ashley, the man ain't going to find you at the salon. So I'm trying to get out here and, not be in the salon all the time, get out there and mix and mingle and see what's out there, but also try online dating, as I've been told that that's not a bad thing to do. So I'm on Bumble, okay? Didn't even know if I wanted to say that, but it's too late and I said it.
Yeah, you done said it. You done put it out there.
But on Bumble, the rules are different.
What do you mean the rules are different?
So let's say that you see a guy or you're doing your swiping, your swipe left, your swipe right, and you both match on each other.
Okay.
But with Bumble, the woman speaks first.
So if you and a guy match each other, he can't say anything to you until you actually speak to him.
Yes. And you have 24 hours to speak.
Once you've matched.
Yes. So if you do not speak,
Then
you
what?
lose the match.
Could you rematch later?
Yes, but that's a premium package.
Oh.
I have the premium package. But, but you can do that.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to keep myself open. And, we're going to have Shar put this in the video. So, I'm trying to keep myself open. And I matched with this guy. And, I make the first move. I'm like, hey, it was Juneteenth. And I was like, hey, greetings. Hope you're enjoying a day off. He proceeds to go into this monologue about how he does not take days off. He works all the time. He don't take no days off. And that while other people are chilling, he out here grinding. So initially my thought was, and my intuition was, all he want to do is work. Nobody wants no man that's working all the time. How you want to spend time with me? 2, are you about to work me? Because I'm already working harder than the Hebrew slaves. So I'm not trying to work any harder than I am already. Every day I wake up in the morning, I am goal-oriented, but that's not the first thought on my mind. I'm not, how am I going to achieve these goals? I'm like, what am I going to wear? How long am I going to be at the salon today? Not what are the goals I'm trying to achieve. So I told
Me.
And as well as a client that's a therapist, as well as another client that is a dating coach or not. And they all were like, well, ask more questions, dig deeper. But he was already somewhat a no for me, just based on the fact that I felt like he was going to try to work me like a workhorse. So,
is that where I've responded?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. So say the next part.
Then, I proceed to continue to try to, delve deeper. And I was like, well, my question for you is, if you're always working, how do you find time to date? And he says, I'm not necessarily a proponent of serial dating. Time is my most valuable asset. And from what I've discovered on this platform, there are not too many of the women I've come across that are able to earn my time.
Oh, you just sound so poetic with it. Earn my time.
Earn my time.
Now, this is where I come in. But go ahead.
And
Finish
that's
that
no
part.
offense to them or their character, but I have certain standards that I adhere to. And I'm like, here we go.
Now, can I just make a note?
Okay.
Before I jump in.
Okay.
Y'all saw how she read that. It was a lot of tone. It was a lot of tude. It was a lot of neck rolling. because that's how she took it.
Exactly. That is how I took it. The earn my time. But okay, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you finish.
And not to
I'm not
say
gonna be
that
Kanye.
she was wrong to take it that way. So my suggestion was maybe she should have a conversation with him. Get clarity, because you hear how she put emphasis on the word earn my time. So I could tell that that was a problem for her and how she received that. Somewhere in the contents of earn my time, for her, that was an issue.
Yes.
So instead of assuming, right, instead of assuming that this is what it is or this is what he meant by that, I said, hey, maybe we should have a conversation, because one thing about dating sites, and this is the same thing for texting, that's why I don't believe in no text-based relationship. You're gonna have to pick up the phone and call me. We need to talk. I like to be back in the day. I'm old school. I'm traditional. Okay, texting works for like simple things, but if I'm trying to get to know somebody, right?
I'll call you right back.
Thinking of you.
Miss you.
Whatever.
But
But talking.
don't call us chocolate and caramel. Those are played out too, and we'll talk about that at a later time.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Were you back here?
Exactly.
But with talking, with texting and emailing back and forth, you can't apply tone to it. You don't know how the person is saying it, the contents of where they're coming from. So that's where I said maybe it's time to try to transition from texting to actually a phone conversation, so you could hear it.
Okay. And so then for my intuition, thought, no, I don't want to talk to him. But I was like, you know what? I'm not about to just disregard. I'm going to take the advice of my friend. So I told him that, respect is earned, but time is given. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would like to have a conversation to hear more of what you have to say on the issue. So we did end up having a conversation where it's, he's continuing to go again about all his many standards, goals, and recipients of medals of honor and all the honors that he's received for doing the meet expectations. At a job performance, it's like meets expectations, exceeds expectations, and does not meet expectations. Mm-hmm. He's doing meet expectation stuff, but wants exceed expectation behavior. Mm-hmm. Nah, player. So at the end of the conversation, he says, well, have I earned the chance to talk to you again? And I told him, I was like, well, you can call me tomorrow, definitely, because I prefer phone calls. But you didn't do anything to earn that. And I don't want you to get into the habit of earning things from me, because I don't want you to earn things. I was like, I will give you my time. And if you show that you don't deserve my time, I won't give it. I was like, but I'm not trying to earn from you either. Mm-hmm. So you know what he does?
Blocked you.
He didn't necessarily block me. He unmatched me on the app, and he did not call. But again, my intuition already told me that he wasn't supposed to play in my playground. Okay.
Okay.
So
but I do commend you, because you did give a chance to having a conversation, because even though it went that way, it could have went a different way, because just talking to someone, getting an understanding, and just kind of getting in communication, right? They said communication is key. So if someone says something to you, you may receive it a certain way, but that might not be how they intended for you to receive it. And you won't know that unless you have the conversation and say, hey, you said X, Y, Z, and this is how I received it. Is that what you meant?
Exactly. And I agree.
But
this man here, no. I felt like my intuition told me that he was not about it. And even in the conversation, he said...
Can I ask you this question real quick?
Okay.
So your intuition told you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he was a no. Mm-hmm. Did you have a intuition when you swiped to like him? Like did he like you first and you swipe back to match, or?
No. Mm-hmm. I actually did not have an intuition to swipe him. He was actually sitting in my queue of likes, because your girl is popping. I got a whole lot of them. I got like 70 plus. He was in my queue of likes. Uh-huh. And I'd seen him and I looked at him and I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. But I heard you in my mind saying, Give him a chance. Give them a chance.
So your intuition started with the, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a definite, I don't know, because from his profile that he put, and let's also state this, men, y'all have the worst profiles on these dating apps. I don't like them pictures. Y'all don't know how to take pictures. Get your homie to help you. Get a home girl actually to help you, because these pictures that y'all are putting on these dating profiles are not, they are not it. They are not anything that's making me feel or making other women feel that we should go ahead and jump on that. I'm giving you my best, and you are giving me bathroom pics with dirty mirrors.
Well, all I'm saying, to the man's defense,
Dirty mirrors.
the women profiles ain't too far fetched from that.
I'm not saying that either.
I mean, we know yours isn't.
Oh yeah, mine's on point.
Yeah.
But I'm saying them dirty mirrors, okay? And the car. Oh my God, if y'all don't stop taking pictures in this car, I'm so tired of y'all taking pictures in this car. Get out the car. Go stand by a tree, a block, something. Just stop it with the car. Just stop with the car.
Okay. So going back, your intuition started off when he was in the queue.
Yes.
And it was just kind of like, I don't know.
He looked very pretentious. That's what I got from his profile. And I'm not a pretentious person. I may have all the accolades in life, but I'm still Ashley.
Okay. The Ashley.
I mean, the Ashley, not the big one, not the little one, but yes, so I just want to, make sure I'm leaning into my intuition, which I feel is stronger because maybe you can attest from it, from knowing me. I have grown in my journey of knowing myself and healing myself and working on all of my hang-ups and my issues. So I feel more in tune with me. So I feel as though I can hear myself better, and it's a true, authentic voice of what's best for me versus where I was previously.
I agree with that.
It was like a constant questioning myself, or, am I even good enough to date this dude or anything like that? And, I don't know who doesn't have those thoughts, but I do. And now that I've grown in myself, I feel like I can hear my voice very clear, and I know, okay, well, no, that's not what we're looking for. We as in me. There's more than one person in here. I mean, I'm not crazy, I'm not schizophrenic, but we as in me.
Okay. I respect that. And I think for me, when it comes to dating, intuition, sometimes, again, outside of the eyebrow, right? It could just be that moment of being hesitant. I've talked to people in the past, I've dated people, and naturally I'm a giving type of person, and that's just who I am, and it's a part of who I am. And there's been situations where I thought about doing something nice for a person, or wanting to do this or give this or whatnot.
Which I've seen her do. She's awesome. She's a great girlfriend.
Thank you.
She gave me some ass.
Hey. Don't say that. Boo Thing might not like that. Boo Things might not like that.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But there's been a hesitancy, right? Where I've been hesitant, like, I don't know if I think I should do that. And every time I felt like that, like I don't know if I should do that, that's my intuition talking to me like, no. You don't think you should do that, but I'm telling you no. That's why you feel like you think you shouldn't do it. Anytime I've gone against it, I later find out why I should have listened to it. Same thing with business. Anytime I go against it and I do it anyway, I realize later why I should have listened.
Yes, and I believe that same voice is the same, just like how we say with business, but also in your friendships and relationships and personal, because I can hear it too. And every time I go against it, I'm like, man, or even part of like, I don't know, but you just growing with the salon, and you give people chances to come in or chances to shadow and stuff like that. It's like, the intuition kind of said no, but you gave it a chance anyway. And then now it's like, nah, I should
have listened.
It's more like a nah versus the initial no.
Right.
So, I'm just trying to lean more into my intuition and trust myself. Still outside. The girl is still outside. She's still dating and mingling. I had a great date today. It was a lunch date. Had a good time. It's promising.
Okay. We're going to touch on that next episode.
Okay, next episode.
Let's see where we at with that. So
I hope my next episode he's still around.